I have like maybe 30 minutes to film this video because she's about to wake up. So we're going to try and get this in and out as fast as possible. I apologize if I'm out of breath. I am very pregnant and my lungs are super smushed. Let's get into it. I want to talk about book reviews. I've gotten so many different types of comments on book reviews that I've left, both on Goodreads, Fable, Storycraft. Like, I've gotten comments mostly on Goodreads, even on here on YouTube when I've given reviews, of people disagreeing on the way I present a book review, and it's been making me really think about how we go about giving book reviews, and not even just like how to give a book review, like what is the criteria needed in a book review, but also like who's allowed to give a book review, what needs to be in that book review. I want to like talk about like who maybe like when to not review a book and when to review a book, like all of those components that go into giving a book review. Like, do you have to be an expert? Like, so I just have so many questions. Like, do you have to give disclaimers when you do a book review? Like, should you have to say like, hey, I realize this book wasn't really for me, but I read it anyways. And I also want to talk about like the difference between a book review and a reaction to a book. I feel like that would be really good. Rating systems would be really good. Like, how do we even like rate a book per se? The responsibility of a book reviewer, separating author from the book. Like, just because you don't like the author, does that mean you give them a low rating in the book? Like, I don't know. Like, just, I have a lot of questions. And so I want to get into them. Again, I want this to be an open conversation. I want you guys to be able to come to me and comment on this video and say like, hey, I feel as though when you give a book review, like I think this, and this, or maybe you agree with things that I say, maybe you disagree with things that I say. But let's start with who is even allowed to give a book review. Like, I think that's something that is super interesting to me. Like, who do we decide we trust to give the book review? Because there are books out there that I feel like get bombed with reviews specifically because of something that happened. Maybe the book went viral, maybe the author is very famous, and you see like on Goodreads, like people have left reviews on books that aren't even out yet. And I'm not talking about ARC reviewers. I'm talking these people have not read the book and they're already giving reviews. So who's allowed to leave a review, right? Like, who can do that? And I think, in my opinion, if you've read the book, you can leave a review. If you've consumed that novel, you're allowed to leave a review. Now, that's an interesting question of, well, what if you tried to read the book and you couldn't get through it? What if you DNF the book? Do you still get to leave a review? I just feel like that's another interesting thing. And I have to be honest, when I DNF a book, I leave a review. I still review the book. I still give it a star rating because I did put in time and obviously I didn't enjoy the book. So, you know, like, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to DNF and still review it. And maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe you don't agree with that. But I personally feel as though if you have tried to consume a book by reading it, by listening to it on audio, if you have consumed a book in some way or another, and you weren't able to get through it for whatever reason, I think you should be able to tell people about that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that should be something that you can talk about, especially since it's possible that somebody else is going to go through the same struggles and be like, why didn't anybody tell me that her bodily functions were going to be brought up in every other paragraph? Like, why didn't anyone tell me that she was going to have tummy issues? I would not have read this book if she had watery bowels. So yeah, I just think that I personally feel like if you DNF a book, you should still review it. I think you should still leave a review. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like to leave negative reviews and I think some of that might be the fact that people think that they owe authors something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think you owe the author a positive review? Because I don't. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. And I think maybe that's possibly because I just feel as though if a book isn't good, then a book isn't good. And I don't want somebody else to read it and be like, I did not like this. And how is anybody going to improve their writing if everybody is just a yes person? Nobody's going to, like, for instance, when you work out, which I have not done in a very long time. I do walk and I have been running while pregnant, but I haven't like gone to a gym. Okay. Like I haven't gone to a gym, and I'm not saying that you have to go to a gym, but I haven't like struggled for the goal of losing weight. But when you go to the gym, you walk in intending to struggle. You walk into the gym intending to get exhausted by it, to exercise your muscles, to work them out, to do things that are discomforting. Okay, same as if you want to diet. If you want to lose weight, you're trying to consume less calories than you would be like you want to burn more calories than you consume. Is that how you say that? I don't know how to say that. Anyways, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. You're trying to eat less calories and burn more? No. Anyways, the whole thing though is when you're dieting and exercising is it's not comfortable to do those things, but it makes it so that you get to your end result, which is the body type that you are trying to achieve. Whether it is just losing weight for health reasons or trying to get toned for health reasons, maybe you're competing, I don't know, but whatever it is, maybe you just want to live like a healthier lifestyle, whatever it is, to get your body moving. You are not trying to stay at a comfortable level because you will not improve if you do not get uncomfortable. And I just feel like that can be reflected in people's writings. If you do not let that author sit in their discomfort and be like, oh, okay, this writing did not work. People did not enjoy it. And that's not comfortable. So I'm going to improve. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to maybe take a writing class, or maybe they just write more and send it out and see if people like it or not. I don't know. But whatever it is, you cannot improve something if you don't know it's not needing to. If you don't know something needs to get improved, you're not going to improve it. If you make cereal and it is the best tasting cereal, you're not going to try a different way to make cereal. You're not going to add more milk or take away milk. You're just going to make it the same way because it worked. Like it was really good. But if somebody was like, dude, there's no milk in this, then you're going to be like, oh, let me go grab you some milk. It's like, it doesn't need to be that big of a deal, I feel like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we need to stop making it so personal. And maybe that's like what's happening is people are making things like personal. And I just feel like authors should not take things personally if their writing style isn't working for somebody else. I don't think authors should take that personally, because it just means that you have another opportunity to improve. Like, I think that's a good thing. I don't think you want everyone to like your writing. I think you want to constantly be improving, because once you have nothing else to improve, what is there left to do? I don't know. Anyways, so I think everybody should be able to leave a review, and I think you should be able to leave a review if you DNF a book, and I don't think we should be coddling authors. But let me know what you guys think. If you think, because I do think that's very common, is that people want to leave positive reviews and they don't like when people leave negative reviews. I find that maybe sometimes people think that a negative review is more on the gossip side and it feels like an attack. I just wonder, like, how can we make a review not feel like it's being attacked? Like, not feel like we're attacking the author. Do you know what I mean? And then, okay, so then I want to also ask, like what even goes into a review? And this I'm actually interested from your guys' perspective. Do you guys like a summary or an analysis? Do you want the emotional reactions of a review? Like, do you want to hear when somebody has like a hot take? Do you just want objective critiquing? And if you do, like, what does objective critiquing mean? Like, who decides like writing style was not great, characters were one-dimensional? Like, how do you objectively understand that without taking in like previous experiences with other books? Like, how do you evaluate writing style? How do you evaluate like the themes and the execution and not just the plot? Like, how do we convey that, I suppose? I would love to know, honestly, because I would love to improve myself as a book reviewer. So I would love to know, like, do you want like a deep understanding of books? And is that every book? Because there are some silly books out there, my guys. Like, there's some books out there that are not deep at all. What makes a review helpful for you guys? Do you like spoiler-free reviews, or do you want to be spoiled? Like, maybe you've read this book and you're interested in other people's experience of the book. Do you want like a spoiler section? So if somebody gives a book review, would you like a spoiler section where they can talk about like certain things that they really want to critique? I don't know. And also, like, if you are watching a review, why are you watching it? Are you watching it to see like, oh, do I want to read this book in the future? Are you like writing your list so that when you go to the bookstore, you're like, okay, this is the book that I want to grab, or this is the book I don't want to grab? Like, why are you watching book reviews? I think that's a great question. Answer that one. Okay. If you don't answer any questions, please just tell me why you're watching. I usually give a disclaimer if I have a review to give. I usually give a disclaimer, especially if that book is not my forte or not a book that I feel was intended for me, just things like that. Like, for instance, like when I started reading sci-fi books, when I gave reviews, I was like, hey, just so you know, this is my first sci-fi book. Like, I am not a sci-fi person. Same as like certain nonfiction books, especially like political ones, I will let people know like, hey, I am a Christian, I am conservative. So this is coming from the bias of somebody who is Christian and conservative. And I will give that disclaimer. Is that necessary? I personally think it is. But is it necessary for every book? Do we need to give disclaimers on the bias of the reviewer? So should I give disclaimers on like romance books and say like, hey, I get very uncomfortable when I read smut, when I read spice, like it makes me feel physically unwell. And so do I need to give that disclaimer? Because it's very likely that I'm going to give a lower book rating on books that have a lot of heavy spice or smut because I'm uncomfortable for the whole book. So is that necessary? Is that a thing that we should be doing as a book reviewer? Should we be giving those disclaimers? Is it important? I don't know. You tell me. Should we also give like disclaimers on like reading experience? Like, it's possible that we're going through a rough season and it's like, look, like I've just been super sad, and so I was reading this book and it's super happy and I just was not feeling it. Like, should book reviewers give that disclaimer? Like, do we need, like, how much of a disclaimer should we be giving, if any at all? Yeah, like, you tell me. Do you think you trust a reviewer more if they give disclaimers, or do you think you trust a reviewer less? Like, would that make you be like, oh, okay, then I don't know if, unless of course you have the same biases. Are there disclaimers that you think all reviewers should be giving? Like, is there a specific disclaimer that you're like, I really wish you had given this disclaimer? I think I would be interested to know if like any of you have been misled by a reviewer and been like, you did not give us context. Like, we did not like, you know what I mean? I would love to know if there was a book that you read because of a book review and then realized like, oh, I didn't realize that this book was going to be like XYZ because you did not give me the context of this. Like, there was no disclaimer. There's a lot of books that I've read, especially recently, that I'm like, this book was clearly not for me. And I still give those reviews. And I think I give those reviews because I think there's a lot of people that are similar to me that are on a certain side of booktube and get a lot of people like trying to get people to be influenced to read certain books, which is fine. Like, that's fair. And I just want to give like the other perspective of like, okay, like if you don't like these things in books, this is not the book for us. Don't read this book. I did. It was not great. So I don't know how you guys feel. If you know a book is really just not for you, do you just walk away from it? Or are you just like, okay, let me just DNF this. Let me just walk away. Let me not even acknowledge the book. Let me pretend that that didn't happen. I think for me also, like I'm a mom and I get about 30 to 45 minutes a day to read, like dedicated to reading. And that's usually like after I have finished cleaning, after I've eaten, after my kid is being taken care of and probably asleep. So for me, like if I've given you my 30 to 45 minutes, like, and it like bummed me out because like the book wasn't any good, I'm giving a review. I'm giving a review because I didn't have a lot of time to begin with and I gave it to this book. So yeah, I'm giving that review. But what do you guys think? Like, do you think like maybe we shouldn't? Like, hey, that book wasn't for you. It wasn't meant for you. It was meant for this population. It was meant for this type of a person or whatever. Like it was meant for like people with these characteristics. I don't know. When you watch a review, again, I'm so interested. Like with the person watching the videos, like I'm interested. Do you like raw reactions? Like when you watch like a reading vlog and they're like, just finish the book, here's my raw thoughts. Like, do you prefer those? Or do you want something after somebody's sat with a book and like really thought about it and then comes up with a review? Like, do you like more scripted reviews? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't script any of my reviews. Even during my wrap-ups and like I've read that book like maybe towards the beginning of the month and now it's the end of the month and I'm talking about it, I'm still going off the cuff. I don't think I've scripted any of my videos because I'm really bad at scripting. Like not bad at scripting, I can script. I'm okay with writing things out, but I'm bad at like, even if I memorized it and like told it to you, I'm not an actress. Like I'm just bad at making it seem natural. So I typically give you like a raw, this is just what I've been thinking about or like whatever. But do you prefer something to be more thought through? I will say that I think the most variable possible for any book reviewer is the star rating. Like we have a 5-star rating, which was started by Goodreads, made it popular. You know, that 5-star rating really made it popular through Goodreads. I feel like everything was always out of 10 and then Goodreads was like, no, we're doing it out of 5. And, you know, a lot of people like the half or quarter stars and it gives it a little bit more variance, but I just feel like the star rating, like how do you decide, like what's a 3-star book to you? Is that a mid book? Or is that a bad rating? Because to me, a 3-star book are most books. Most books I feel are 3-star books. I think when you get into that 4-star, like the person that read it would consider not just like talking about it frequently and like passing it along, but would even consider reading it again. Like I think if you're willing to read a book again, automatically you're over 3 stars. But if you've read a book, it was good, it wasn't life-changing, you would still recommend it to people, but like, you're not going to read this book again. I feel like it's a mid-level book. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just a 3-star book. I don't think anything's wrong with 3 stars. I think 3-star is a good average rating. But I do see a lot of people being like, how could you give this 3 stars? That's a bad rating. I don't think 3 stars are bad ratings. I think 3 stars are like safe ratings. Not safe. Like, I think 3 stars are, how do I say that? Not safe, but like if you went to a bookstore, I would happily get a 3-star book. Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to be an easy read. It's going to be a read that like I can get through. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to have a bad time, but I'm also probably not going to remember it a year from now. Like I'm probably not going to care about it a year from now. I think a lot of my books on Pango were books that I gave 3 stars that I was just like, yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed it, but I'm not attached to it. Does that make sense? I don't know. What do you guys think of star ratings? Like, Do you think book reviewers, maybe we should be doing this. Do you think book reviews should be telling what the star rating is at the very beginning of a book review? Like, hey, these are how I rate my books. This is what the star ratings mean for me. 1 star, probably didn't even finish it, really didn't like this book, would absolutely love to never talk about this book again. 2 stars, it had some good stuff, but for the most part, I did not have a good time. 3 stars, it was good. It was a book. It was a book that was written. 4 stars, I enjoyed it more than I didn't enjoy it, and I will probably remember at least some points of the book a year from now. And then 5 stars are like, yeah, this book was phenomenal. I will never get this book out of my head. Like, it's now my personality. I'm obsessed with this book. Like, should we be giving those star ratings at the beginning of every review video? Maybe that would be helpful. Like, honestly, maybe that would help when you give a review, because then people would know what your star ratings even mean to you. Because then if you said like, yeah, this was like a 3.75, like people will know, like, it was still not memorable, but I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe that would help. And then people could know where a book really stands. But is that all opinion based? All of that is opinion based. Like, can you be objective? I don't know if you can. Let me know what you think, though. You tell me what you think throughout this whole video. I'm so interested to know what you guys think about any of this. And if you're wondering what I'm looking down at, I wrote the questions down on my phone. So I'm just like looking at the next question. This is the amount of planning ahead I did for this video. I did do some research, but like, yeah, this was like the amount that I did. Anyways. Okay, so I do want to talk about like responsibility of influencers, and do reviewers have a responsibility to be careful with their wording? Like, is there like a certain way we should be giving a review, and should we be very careful with how we give that review? Do we need to like really be mindful of the language that we use? Like, can we not use negative language? Should we only use positive language? Or should we not use negative or positive, just neutral language the whole time? And can a bad review go too far? There is a book out right now by a booktube influencer that has so many mixed reviews. And sometimes I look at those videos and I'm like, guys, it cannot be that deep. It can't be that deep. I understand people are upset for many reasons, but are we really going to take it out on the book? Like, is that review going too far? I don't know. It just seems very interesting to me. I feel like people are kind of obsessed. But then again, like, the algorithm pays you to give bad reviews. Like, people love drama. People love conflict. They like to watch it. And I just feel like maybe some people like who didn't enjoy a book go a little harder for a negative review to get that viewing, if that makes sense. And like, can we separate the author from the book? It's going back to that influencer who has a book out currently and people are so upset by it. Are we not able to judge the book by the book? Like, are we so obsessed with authors, you know? And like, if you disagree with an author's politics or religion or personality, like maybe they're a rude author, does that mean you don't want to support them? Because there are authors out there that I just won't read their books. 1, I don't think they're great authors, but 2, they have huge egos. There is a very famous author who lives 30 minutes away from me. I'm not going to name drop, but if you know me, you know exactly who I'm talking about. There is an author. He lives 30 minutes away. He is the rudest person ever. He is so mean. And he is so egotistical too. Like, he just has the biggest ego. But on top of that, he doesn't really edit his books because he's so famous. He doesn't think he needs to edit things out. So he's known to be the author who is too big to edit. And I just don't like his books. But is some of that just because I don't like him in general? Maybe. he did write a book where he spent an entire page dedicated to this guy brushing his teeth. Can we separate authors from their books? Like if he was a horrible person but wrote really good books, would I be able to separate that? Or do we just cancel people today? I don't know. I don't really like the whole cancel culture thing. I don't think it's productive. I don't think we should be canceling people. I think we should be encouraging them to be better people, like better members of society. Let's give each other the tools to be better people. Like, why are we we shouldn't be canceling somebody. We shouldn't just be giving up on people. We should be giving them opportunities to become better people, in my opinion. So if you don't like an author based on a point of view that they have on something, no matter what it is, maybe they just have a bad attitude. Like, for instance, the author that lives 30 minutes away. Maybe they just are really bad people. Maybe they have really big egos. I don't know. But I still, like, even though I don't like that person, I don't like that author, I won't read their books, I won't buy their books, even still, I feel as though we do not cancel them. We encourage them to be better in society, in polite society, if that makes sense. I just don't agree with canceling. I don't think it's productive. And I think one of my big things is it's a waste for society. If you've canceled someone, that means that person can't be a productive member of society. And in the society that we have, we can use all hands on deck. I feel like everybody can be useful. Everybody can learn a trait. Everybody can learn a new skill. Everybody can be re-educated in society. So yeah, I just think, same with authors. If you don't like an author, does that mean we don't buy their books? I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like people are like, I don't like this author, and therefore I'm not. I just saw a reel actually the other day about somebody going to a bookstore with and it was like when you and your friend are on different sides of book talk, and he's like, I'm so interested in reading this book. And the other person's like, oh, that person is like super like blah, 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 blah. And then they like picked up a book and they're like, oh, I've heard good things. And he's like, oh, that author, super into blah, blah, blah. And it's just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Is there any books left? Is there any perfect authors out there? Rick Riordan, where are you? I just think, I don't know. Because I feel like you can scrutinize everyone. There's definitely, if you look deep enough in my past, there's definitely things that I'm super embarrassed by. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody is going to pass the white glove test. Anyways, okay, so I guess that was all that I had, and actually I've been filming for quite a bit, so I do want to get going, but I am interested to know what you guys think about book reviews, what you look for in a book review. What do you think a good book reviewer would be doing when they give a book review, like all of that stuff? I'm interested. I obviously want to improve my ability to give a solid book review, and I just would be very interested to find out what you guys think, what you guys are seeing, what you're noticing, how you feel about certain reviews or books or authors, what you're looking for, all of that good stuff. I just think at the end of the day, like a book review is in the eyes of the beholder, much like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. I just feel as though like a book reviewer or a book review is a lot about who was reading that book, when they read it in that time, their perspective. And I think that takes a lot into the book review. So I think also like if you do not connect with that book reviewer, maybe you're not going to care about their review as much. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, that's a wrap. Bye.